Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. Once the Jonathan Kuminga situation is resolved, the Warriors want to sign 4 players: Al Horford, DeAnthony Melton, Gary Payton II and Malcolm Brogdon. The Golden State Warriors have spent the summer trapped in a holding pattern. The stalemate with Jonathan Kuminga has tied up their cap sheet and left them as the only team in the league yet to make a signing. It is a self-inflicted purgatory. And according to a new report, even the veterans who are expected to join the team are starting to get restless. Monty Poole of NBC Sports Bay Area reports that Al Horford and other Warriors free agent targets are quietly pleading for clarity as the saga drags on. The deals are believed to be in place. Horford, DeAnthony Melton, and Gary Payton II are lined up. Malcolm Brogdon remains on the radar. But September is here, camp is closing in, and patience is perhaps wearing thin. Warriors free agency on hold. The holdup is simple. Kuminga's restricted free agency has locked up Golden State's books. The team has reportedly offered him a 2-year, $45 million deal with a team option. Kuminga, however, appears far more interested in the $7.99 million qualifying offer, which would give him trade veto power and send him into unrestricted free agency next summer. That divide has been the story all summer. And it has kept Golden State from officially signing anyone. Other restricted free agents around the league have now almost all made their decisions. Cam Thomas took the qualifying offer in Brooklyn. Josh Giddey signed a 4-year, $100 million deal in Chicago. Quentin Grimes is expected to land back with Philadelphia once the Sixers clear salary. The Warriors, meanwhile, remain frozen. Their veterans are waiting. Their fans are waiting. Everyone is waiting on Kuminga. Why this standoff hurts the Warriors? Golden State is not the Bulls or the Sixers. They are not planning years into the future. With Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green, average age 36.5 years, this is a win-now team. Every wasted week matters. The lack of clarity is more than a front office headache. It is actively preventing the Warriors from finalizing deals that could stabilize the roster. Horford's veteran presence, Melton's defensive versatility, Payton's familiarity with Kerr's system, these are the kinds of moves that could balance the bench around Golden State's aging core. Instead, those pieces remain in limbo. Poole notes that the free agents themselves are pressing for answers. They signed up for a chance to contend in the Bay, not to sit in free agency purgatory while the clock ticks toward October. The clock is ticking. The deadline for Kuminga to sign his qualifying offer is October 1st. That gives both sides just weeks to resolve a saga that has stretched all summer. Until then, the Warriors cannot move forward. For now, the expectation remains that Kuminga will take the qualifying offer. That would finally give Golden State the clarity it needs to sign Horford, Melton, Payton, and potentially Brogdon. But until pen meets paper, nothing is guaranteed. The longer this stalemate drags on, the greater the risk that the Warriors waste another crucial offseason. And with Curry still playing at an elite level, that is the one thing Golden State cannot afford. Warriors should part with Jonathan Kuminga, reunite Stephen Curry with former 6'8" teammate. While it's unlikely to happen immediately, it's only a matter of time before the Golden State Warriors trade Jonathan Kuminga to a different franchise. Kuminga isn't a great fit with the Dubs, and should be given a chance to flourish elsewhere as a promising young 6'7" forward. If Golden State wants to receive a valuable asset in return for Kuminga later on, they should consider reuniting Stephen Curry with his former 6'8" teammate. Familiarity is at least a part of why the Golden State Warriors are here, Bailey wrote Monday. Kelly Oubre played for them during the 2020-21 campaign, when he averaged 15.4 points and 1.6 threes. While the impact metrics from his season in the Bay Area aren't good, the Warriors need more punch off the bench and currently only have 9 players under contract. Fans would likely hope for a little more efficient use of the team's trade exception, but that could make acquiring Oubre relatively easy. At least in theory, a downhill scoring threat like Oubre should be able to pull some defenses inward and away from shooters like Stephen Curry, Buddy Hield, and Brandon Podziemski. Oubre is the epitome of a solid NBA role player. The Kansas product can defend on the perimeter adequately and maximize his slashing opportunities on the offensive end, helping him hang around the league for a decade thus far. However, Oubre's inability to figure it out from long range, he shot 31.6% from three during his lone season with the Warriors, made it challenging for him to last in Golden State's live by the three and die by the three philosophy. Still, it's never a poor idea to bring back an asset who understands the ins and outs of the organization and could pick up where they left off. A Kuminga and Oubre swap should be on the table for the Dubs. Al Horford, veterans quietly pleading for clarity amid Jonathan Kuminga's situation. NBA rumors revealed Jonathan Kuminga's stalled talks leave Warriors targets like Al Horford and other veterans pleading for clarity. The Golden State Warriors' contract standoff with restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga has now begun to impact the status of multiple veteran players linked to the team, including Al Horford. According to NBC Sports' Monty Poole, Horford and other veterans are quietly pleading for clarity as the organization and Kuminga remain locked in stalled negotiations. Poole reported this week that the re-signings of fellow restricted free agents Josh Giddey with the Chicago Bulls and Cam Thomas with the Brooklyn Nets have had no bearing on Golden State's talks with Kuminga. Giddey agreed to a 4-year, $100 million deal while Thomas signed a 1-year, $6 million contract. The stalemate between Kuminga and the Warriors remains precisely that, but they are steadily creeping toward resolution if only because every minute brings them closer to an October 1 deadline, Poole wrote. The initial reaction to Cam Thomas returning to the Brooklyn Nets and Josh Giddey re-signing with the Chicago Bulls is to ponder whether that impacts the Warriors and Kuminga. The answer is, complicated. Jonathan Kuminga leans toward qualifying offer as Warriors resist long-term commitment. Kuminga, 22, is coming off his fourth NBA season, averaging 15.3 points and 4.6 rebounds while taking a step forward as both a scorer and defender. Golden State has reportedly held firm on a 2-year, $45 million offer that includes a team option in the second year. The deal would also force Kuminga to waive his no-trade clause, a sticking point that has led the forward to lean toward accepting his $7.99 million qualifying offer instead. That path would give Kuminga veto power over trades this season and allow him to test unrestricted free agency next summer, a scenario that would significantly shift the Warriors' roster flexibility. Poole emphasized the distinction between Kuminga's negotiations and other RFAs like Giddey and Thomas, pointing out that Golden State and Kuminga do not share the same dream of a long-term partnership. While it is possible he returns under the qualifying offer, the team's reluctance to meet his market value has left the situation unresolved as the October 1 deadline nears. Al Horford and other veterans left waiting as Warriors stall on Kuminga resolution. Clutch Points NBA insider Brett Siegel also reported last week that Kuminga has essentially been handcuffed by the Dubs as a restricted free agent this offseason, noting that talks have remained far apart since free agency began. Siegel wrote that Golden State's offer is structured to preserve trade value, giving the team flexibility ahead of February's deadline but leaving Kuminga without leverage over his own future. Unless the Warriors pivot to a longer-term contract worth between $25 million and $30 million annually, Kuminga's representation is believed to be eyeing 2026 free agency when more teams will have cap space to pursue him. Meanwhile, veterans such as Horford, Malcolm Brogdon, and DeAnthony Melton remain in the background. Reports have linked all three to Golden State since July, but their situations are directly tied to the outcome of Kuminga's negotiations. With just under a month before the Warriors open the 2025-26 season against the Los Angeles Lakers on October 21, the franchise faces mounting pressure to resolve Kuminga's status. Until then, Horford and other veterans continue to wait, pressing for clarity on where they stand in Golden State's roster plans. Jonathan Kuminga poised for potential NBA move that could send shockwaves through the league. Jonathan Kuminga's future sparks intrigue across the NBA. As the NBA offseason unfolds, Jonathan Kuminga is once again at the center of attention, capturing the interest of teams around the league. The dynamic forward, who has shown flashes of brilliance during his early career with the Golden State Warriors, is poised for a potential move that could reverberate throughout the league. Kuminga, drafted 7th overall by the Warriors in 2021, has demonstrated the talent and athleticism that could elevate him to stardom. However, his role in the Warriors lineup has been inconsistent. Despite moments of brilliance, he has struggled to secure a stable position in head coach Steve Kerr's rotation. The recent playoffs revealed glimpses of his capabilities when Stephen Curry's injury forced Kuminga into a more prominent role. His performance during that stretch hinted at a future filled with potential, leaving many wondering what lies ahead. As Kuminga enters the offseason, speculation about his future intensifies. With teams eyeing his explosive skill set, the Warriors may face a crucial decision. Will they hold on to their young talent, or explore trade possibilities that could reshape their roster? The prospect of a sign-and-trade deal looms large, especially considering the interest from other franchises looking to capitalize on Kuminga's untapped potential. League-wide implications. The implications of a potential Kuminga move extend beyond the Warriors. His status could impact various team strategies, as many are eager to strengthen their rosters with young, promising talent. The league is abuzz with discussions about how Kuminga's future could alter the balance of power among competing teams. As the offseason progresses, all eyes will be on Kuminga. His next steps could send shockwaves through the NBA, making this a pivotal moment not only for the player himself but for the entire league landscape. The anticipation surrounding his potential move signifies just how crucial this summer is for both Kuminga and the teams vying for his services. Life on the hardwood will be easier for Green with Horford next to him. The Al Horford situation has been a weird one for the Golden State Warriors this summer. But if the Dubs can end up completing this signing, they're going to grant the wish of Draymond Green instantly. The Warriors have unfortunately had a pretty quiet offseason thus far due to the drama revolving around the Jonathan Kuminga saga. It really doesn't seem like Golden State is going to be able to complete any kind of sign-and-trade involving Kuminga at this point. What's probably going to end up happening is that the Warriors will just have to take the proverbial L and allow Kuminga to sign the qualifying offer, which will open them up to the possible situation of losing him for nothing next summer. But at least at that point, you aren't sitting around anymore waiting for something to happen. Once something finally happens with Kuminga, then Golden State will be able to move forward with completing the Horford signing. Rumors as of right now are that the situation with Kuminga could be coming to a close. If that's the case, then Horford's move to the Bay Area won't be far off either. It's been a long time coming, but making this move official is going to be big. Getting the Al Horford signing completed will benefit Draymond. In my mind, much bigger than people are making it out to be, really. This isn't just about the Warriors having a rock-solid center option once again. It's about what that means for the rest of the players on this roster. Namely, Draymond Green. For some time now, Green has been forced to hold it down at the center position a little bit more than he should be asked to. Kevin Looney's production unfortunately took a hit over the course of the last few seasons, and Draymond was getting asked to play the small ball five quite a lot. Draymond Green is one of the most impactful defensive players of a generation. But that doesn't mean that he can't still be put in positions where his effectiveness is limited. Playing out of position and not seeing nearly as many reps at the four is one of Seth's situations. So of course, he would stand to massively benefit if the Warriors can actually finish up signing Al Horford. Green would be far more comfortable logging extended minutes at power forward and letting Horford hold down the paint. I think Horford is being seen as a relatively minor potential addition by the national audience. But if Golden State can get him on board, it will shift their odds of being one of the top teams in the West this coming season in a big way. Warriors urged to compromise with Jonathan Kuminga after Josh Giddey deal. The Golden State Warriors have had a major problem all summer, but they might finally be getting close to a resolution. Over the past couple of months, the Warriors have made almost no off-season moves, thanks in large part to the restricted free agency of Jonathan Kuminga. The 2021 lottery pick has been in and out of Steve Kerr's rotation throughout his young career. Considering the Warriors don't necessarily see him as a building block for the future, they haven't been willing to budge on his demands for a hefty contract. While a 2-year, $45 million deal has reportedly been on the table for quite some time, Kuminga hasn't been ready to take that deal. Time to compromise? Over the past couple of months, Kuminga hasn't been the only restricted free agent making headlines for his drawn-out negotiations. However, he is certainly the biggest name still available after Josh Giddey agreed to a 4-year, $100 million deal with the Chicago Bulls. That deal prompted Fansided's Peter O'Keefe to write about what should come next for the Warriors and Kuminga. In a recent article, O'Keefe wrote that the Warriors should come to a compromise with Kuminga, citing the compromise of the Giddey deal after the Australian point guard had been looking for something in the $30 million per year range. O'Keefe effectively said that the Warriors' best path forward would be to fully guarantee the offer they've had on the table for Kuminga. Although it wouldn't be a perfect solution, anything that resolves this situation and allows Golden State to move on would be good enough.